I want to talk about how to overcome depression and anxiety. Now, these are both things that I've had to deal with in the past and even recently. In the past, it was more so depression. Recently, it's been more so anxiety in my case. And I'm actually very thankful to have gone through these things because it allows me to make videos like this to help thousands of other people out who are going through some of the same things. Now, before I get into the specifics of each thing, I want to start off by saying this. You are not depressed. You do not have anxiety. Okay, you need to learn to not identify with these things. Because when you identify with anxiety, when you identify with depression, you are owning it. You are making it yours. You have to understand that these are temporary unless you hold on to them. Anxiety is a temporary feeling. Depression is a temporary feeling. Okay, these are feelings that you are holding on to by establishing these identities of being depressed and being anxious. Now, I'm not telling you to completely disregard your feelings, okay? I would never tell you to do that. You should embrace these things, but you should not own them. There is a difference. Embracing them is acknowledging them, understanding that they are there. But owning them is holding on to them and making them your own. You should embrace them, but also understand that they are temporary. So stop identifying with your anxiety. Stop identifying with your depression. These are simply feelings that are passing through you at this time, and they will leave once you learn to change your perspective and, implement some of the things that I'm about to say in this video. Now, I'm going to start off with depression because that's the thing that I feel like is not necessarily worse, but the consequences of depression can be worse in that it can and sometimes does lead to suicidal thoughts and or actions. And, I really feel like somebody out there needs to hear the things that I have to say on this because I've been there. Okay, I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to not want to be alive anymore. It is really the worst feeling that you could feel, in my opinion. Based on everything that I've ever experienced, the feeling of not wanting to be alive anymore, the feeling of romanticizing death because you feel like nothing that is on the other side of death could be worse than the life that you're living. That is one of the worst feelings ever. To me, when you feel that way, you are at the bottom of the bottom. Now, this is actually a good thing, believe it or not, because once you reach the bottom, the only way to go is up. Okay, so if you're in that state of mind right now, you have to understand that your intuition made you click on this video for a reason. Okay, it's because you know subconsciously that you have something to live for. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your dreams, maybe it's both. So you have to keep going. No matter what, you have to keep going. Now, as I said earlier, you do not want to identify with your depression. You are not depressed. You are feeling depressed. Okay, it's a temporary feeling that can be resolved by changing your thought patterns and changing your environment. Now, some of the things are going to overlap with, things that I've said about how to reduce stress, and that's for a reason. A lot of times, the source of depression is stress, and same with anxiety. If left unchecked, stress can really take you down a rabbit hole that some people never recover from. So the first thing to do is you need to check your stress levels. Now, I know that this can be very difficult, especially if you live a very active lifestyle like me. If you always have work to do and you work every single day, it can be very difficult to manage your time correctly. But that's where it starts. It starts with time management. Okay, you have a finite amount of time in each and every day, 24 hours. The way that you manage those hours will determine how much you're able to get done that day, and most importantly, how much time you have for yourself and, your self-care. You need to manage your time correctly and make time for you. Make time to take care of yourself and do all of these other things because these things are very important. I don't care about bills that you have to pay. I don't care about your degree. I don't care about any of that. None of that means anything if you don't have your mental health. Okay, money doesn't mean anything if you don't have your mental health. Take it from me. So with that being said, one thing that you can do to develop self-awareness and reduce stress levels is journaling. Okay, journal every single day. You don't have to follow any prompts. You can if you want, but understand that there is no wrong way to journal. The only wrong way to journal is to not journal at all. Make it a point every single day to write down your thoughts and be completely honest with yourself. Do not write the way that you want to feel. write the way that you actually feel. Journaling is a practice that helps you develop self-awareness. Self-awareness is key when battling mental illness because you need to find the source of your depression and or anxiety. Now, like I said, journaling will help you develop self-awareness. And this is very crucial to overcoming depression because a lot of times depression comes from not just stress, but misguided stress. Okay, you're stressing, but you don't know why you're stressing. You feel like your stress is not justified because you're not working towards something that's actually meaningful to you. And that's why you need to develop the self-awareness to figure out what is meaningful to you. You need to be honest with yourself and get to the bottom of why you're depressed. Maybe, for example, you might be in school and you don't want to be in school. You want to start a business. And I'm not saying that that applies to everyone, but in my case, that was true. You know, I was in school and I knew that I wanted to work for myself. And I was putting in all of this work, stressing myself the hell out because I was trying to get this degree that didn't mean anything to me at all. It had no value in my eyes. But I wanted to please other people. So I put their expectations first before my experience, and it led to me being depressed because I was putting in all of this work and not getting results that actually meant anything to me. When you fall out of alignment with your purpose, you fall out of alignment with your true self. And that's where depression starts to kick in, okay? Because you lose yourself. That's what depression really is. Depression is not perpetual sadness like some people think. Depression is more of the loss of self. You don't know who you are anymore, and you feel like life is not worth living because you're not living for yourself. You're living for other people. You're living through other people's expectations and perceptions of you. Okay, you have to stop doing that. You have to learn to put yourself first. But in order to do that, you have to develop self-awareness. So like I said, journaling. Journaling is going to be very, very important for someone like you. Now, in addition to journaling is meditation. Okay, these are both things that are going to help you not only develop self-awareness, but they're going to ground you in the present moment. They're going to help you validate your feelings by expressing them. Expression is the key. You need to learn to express your feelings, especially to all my men out there. You can't hold on to your feelings in the name of being masculine, because if you're doing that, you are living through the perceptions of other people. And I think that you deserve better than that. And you have to think you deserve better than that too. Another thing that can help you with depression is taking cold showers. Now, I know you're probably wondering, how is taking cold showers going to help me with my depression? Okay, some people probably just clicked off the video when I said that, but I promise you it will help, because what it's going to do is it's going to give you courage. Over time, it is going to give you courage to just do things. Okay, you have to just do it without really putting much thought into it. And in doing that, you are priming yourself and priming your mind to start making your own decisions, to start taking chances, start relying on faith. Your mindset is not defined by the big decisions, it's defined by the small decisions that you make each and every day. So if you make decisions that perpetuate control, taking control over your life and making firm decisions, even in the face of discomfort, you will find that that mindset will spill over into other areas of your life, i.e., whatever it is that's making you depressed. Another thing that you can do to curb depression is to clean your environment. Okay, you are controlling what you can control. And this will come in handy with anxiety as well. You are learning to control your environment and thus control your life. Now, speaking of anxiety, one thing that I need you guys to understand about anxiety is that anxiety is not a bad thing. Believe it or not. I know that it's very difficult to see that when your chest starts to tense up and your mind is racing and you can't think straight. You know, and some people might even have panic attacks. But what you have to realize is that anxiety is simply excitement that is misguided. Okay, it is excitement backed by negative thought patterns. Your body cannot tell the difference between anxiety and excitement. You can look this up. Anxiety and excitement are the same feeling. The same chemical is released. The only difference is that your thoughts are different. So overcoming anxiety is all about changing your perspective. For example, with me, okay, lately I feel like I've been very anxious because I've had a lot of things to do, especially regarding YouTube. Okay, I felt like I have to do this. I have to film this video today. I have to edit this video today. I have to do these emails. I have to reply to comments. Okay, I had to do these things. It felt like at times they were disrupting the flow of my day. But what I realized is that I don't have to do these things. I get to do these things. I am very, very fortunate and privileged to to be able to live this type of lifestyle and do those things every single day. And those are things that I should not take for granted, because a year ago, this was my dream life that I'm living right now. And I promise you, no matter how bad your life is right now, no matter how bad you think your life is right now, there is somebody out there who wishes that they had your life. I can guarantee you, somebody out there would trade places with you in a heartbeat. So you have to learn to change your perspective. One affirmation that I really used to help me was, I am overwhelmed by opportunity. Because it's true, I was feeling overwhelmed. But just using the word opportunity put a positive connotation on that in my mind, and it changed my whole entire paradigm on life in basically one day. Okay, I realized that I am overwhelmed by the opportunities that I've created for myself. I'm overwhelmed by the freedom that I have, and learning to manage that freedom in ways that will be conducive to, me getting to the places that I want to go in life. Now, just like with depression, journaling and meditating will be your best friends when it comes to overcoming anxiety, because you are developing self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key. It is the foundation to overcoming any type of mental illness and just self-improvement in general. You have to know who you are before you can start to level up. You have to set that foundation first, and that starts with knowing who you are. And one thing that I forgot to mention as well for both depression and anxiety is to delete social media. Okay, this especially applies to all my young people out there. I know a lot of you are probably active on social media, and I promise you it is doing you more harm than good. Unless you're making really good money on there, okay, unless you're building your career on there, it is more than likely doing you more harm than good. Okay, you have to get away from the crowd. You have to isolate yourself, or not isolate yourself, but just take some time to focus on you and stop focusing on other people's lives. People are so caught up in celebrities and news and things like that really have no true meaning in their lives. I know some people use social media as, a crutch for their mental health issues, and that's even worse. That's really no better than, using drugs or alcohol as a crutch for your mental health. You have to learn to confront your mental illness head on instead of avoiding it, running from it, by looking for an escape. Life in itself should be an escape. If you have to look for an escape, you are not living your life to its fullest potential. Simply put, you have to learn to remove distractions and turn your attention inwards and focus on yourself and learn more about who you really are, and stop denying yourself the right to exist. You deserve to exist in your fullest capacity because you exist. Okay, if you didn't deserve to exist, you wouldn't be here. Now, obviously, I can't make you do all the things that I said in this video. You have to want it for yourself. Clearly, you want it bad enough to have watched this video. So I would hope that you'd want it bad enough to actually apply the things that I said. And at the very least, think. Think about why you're depressed. Think about why you're anxious, and focus on changing your thought patterns. Focus on identifying the thought patterns that are causing these feelings and replacing them with positive thought patterns. Focus on controlling what you can control and stop thinking so much about the future, because even when you get to the future, you'll still be in the moment.